Hey guys. Okay. There's so many names. Okay, Derek Thompson was stopped by the police. Herring, I think it was named. And I'm gonna call him an officer. Just a dude that hates people. That's evil. Like I said, most cops are. And I'm reading where the chiefs are always saying this isn't normal for our officers to do. Okay, they stop us all the time for nothing. I seriously believe that police officers get a serious hard-on when they see a person of color pass by. I believe that. And they, first thing they want to do is put their foot on the gas and chase you. No matter if you haven't done anything, they're going to make up something when they stop you. They're going to make up lies. They're going to do that. It's just automatically drilled in their head to say you're resisting. And you can be paralyzed from the neck down. They will say you're resisting. And you can be sitting in the passenger seat. You're resisting. And they will pull you out of the vehicle. You're resisting. Okay? That's been happening to us for years and people don't believe it. I've seen these terrible comments on Yahoo. It's like the most evil people make comments on Yahoo. Most evil people in the world. And they'll say things like, oh, there's another didn't do nothing. But really, majority of us didn't do nothing. Because you think about it. If you're constantly harassing people and these children see their mothers being harassed by the police for absolutely no reason at all. What on earth kind of monster are you creating, officer? You're creating that monster because he's watching you, who is supposed to be upholding the law, treating their mother or their father like an animal. So how do you think that child is going to act? And it was like, okay, mom wasn't doing anything wrong when he pulled her over and told her to bend over so he could see her butt. Because that has happened to me. I ain't got no butt. You didn't look at it. Okay? So that has happened to me. I mean, I got robbed. That's what I said, what's the use calling the police for? I got robbed. And all he wanted to do is for me to turn around so he could see my booty. That's what we get. Or if it's a black guy and it's a white cop, you're going to get a beat down just for calling the police. My son called the police. Police arrested him and said, because you called us, somebody going to jail. But a white woman can call the police for somebody barbecuing, somebody in the park, somebody at the pool, legally at the pool. White women can call the police, you're looking at me too hard. I'm going to call the police on you. Do you live here? Even though they got a key and they open up the door, do you live here? I'm going to call the police on you. That is what happens to us. And it's been happening so much that a lot of black people have become immune to it. Not that it doesn't hurt. Not that it doesn't make you feel less human. Not that it doesn't make you feel angry on the inside. But some people get so used to being treated like an animal that they think this is the way we're supposed to be. And a lot of people get so fed up that they don't care anymore. They don't care about killing themselves. They don't care about, but one thing about black people, we do not hang ourselves. And all these lies about black folks putting a noose around their neck and hanging themselves, lies. Lies. Okay? I don't care if your chief said it, who said it. Black folks ain't putting no noose around their necks and hanging themselves. It just ain't happening. I don't care what video you got. It ain't happening. Okay? Now, I'm going to be on that one. So all these black people that's getting hung, committing suicide, ain't happening. They are being killed. They are being murdered. If you're handcuffed and you get shot 6 or 7 times, that's murder. Okay? But the only cop I seen went to jail for that was a black cop. Oh, they got him quick. But if a white cop shoots you and you handcuffed, oh, you committed suicide. Although both of your hands were behind your back. You took the gun and you shot yourself. How did they get a gun? Now, I know when I got pulled over in Schaumburg, they searched me from top to bottom for no reason, without a search warrant, tore everything out of my car, pulled my seats up, everything, just for driving in Schaumburg. That's what happens to us on a regular basis. Imagine being a white person and getting treated like that on a regular basis. Could you take it? Could you take it? Could you stand it? Could you stand it? Could you live like that? Oprah Winfrey had a guy who took these pills that you can take for melanin, but you know what, like bodybuilders take so their skin can get darker, so they can win competition, so they can see their chiseled muscles or their implants. So this guy took the melanin pills, and he looked like a black guy. So he didn't even make it a whole week being black. Couldn't take it. He went into the house in a deep depression and hid until that color came off his skin. He couldn't take it. White people, you couldn't take being black. You can play blackface and laugh about it, but you couldn't take being a black person in America and put up with the evils that are done to us by you. You couldn't do it. You'd be too busy saying, well, you're killing each other. Like you care. Like you care. You're celebrating every time we do it. But y'all killing each other too. You just don't talk about it the way you talk about what we do. You need an excuse to kill us. You know, I travel these roads in this truck, and I'm telling you, the saddest thing is, and I know a lot of white people live in fifth wheels. Black people live in them too every now and then. I know a few. But, there's nothing wrong with that. But what's wrong is, we have one group that I know of in America where black people actually travel in vans and enjoy America. Most of us get tickets and go overseas to enjoy other places. We go to Dubai. We go to Jamaica. We go everywhere but America. We do not enjoy America. Very few of us. Very few of us. Because the young black boy went hiking with his friends in the woods. They didn't mess with his friends, but they were going to hang him in a tree after they got through beating him. So then you wonder why black people don't walk in the woods or run and try to be healthy. Okay? Wasn't Arbery jogging when he got shot 3 times in the chest? Okay? Think about it. And imagine how many murders these men have seen before that. How many murders, because that cop patted him on the back, because the cop probably did some murders too. And they all know the stories, and they're all keeping it hidden. They probably promised to take care of his family while they're in jail, to keep the secrets, because there's some bodies buried out there. There are so millions and millions of black missing people. So many. Stop trusting them, y'all. Oh, they my friend. No, they not. They will run you over with a car and will get away with it. I know somebody that happened to too. And I'm telling you, be careful out there. Just be careful. Because the only way that this can change, if they change it. No matter how much marching we do, no matter how many protesting we do, even us changing laws, people like Rand Paul will go back in and try to change them to make them work for them. I don't even know how he got in office. I mean, that is one of the biggest bigots. I don't care who say he a friend. He ain't no friend. That's a devil. Rand Paul is a devil. That's what he is. And it's a whole lot of them that are in charge. And if the coronavirus haven't stopped him, God, you got to send down something else. Because that ain't working. God, you got to send down something a little more powerful than the coronavirus. Because that ain't working. They still out here being devils. Still out here being evil. And I say, God, if they want to not wear a mask and be in a whole, put them all in one little town. Find them a town that they will be happy with. And everybody else move out. And just let them have that town. Let them all breathe on each other, get sick, whatever. Let them take care of each other. I believe in that, okay? Because it seems like every time we get a town and we fix it up, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Seneca, whatever, Rosewood, whatever town we get, it seems like we're making it and we're okay. You send something in there to mess it up. And I hate to say it, it's not nothing against people who are doing the right thing with their Section 8. They invented this doggone Section 8. So when you do move into a nice town, you're buying your home, here come the Section 8. They ain't gonna stay there but a year or two. They're going to tear up everything in the neighborhood. The kids all out in the front yard, throwing balls, hitting people's cars. Or all in your yard. You know, instead of their backyard. I don't even know what the backyard is for. They on the side of the house barbecuing. Or if they ain't on the side of the house barbecuing, they in front of the house barbecuing. Got lawn chairs sitting all in the yard, and there's like 20 people out there. And that's the everyday occurrence. Like, they ain't even got a backyard. Okay? And that's not everybody. And they'll come over and they want to fight with everybody and throw bottles through your windows. You know what I'm saying? Because they get mad at you because they're not acting civilized. They be like, what you mean acting civilized? Acting like you got some good sense. And you know, and I hear this guy, he told me, he said, their kids all in the yard, they popping firecrackers, you know, right in front of my house, stepping all in my flowers. And he says, don't you know this is Juneteenth? And I'm like, don't you know what Juneteenth is? If you don't have respect for my property, if you don't have respect for me, why are you even celebrating Juneteenth? Why you would even let that come out of your mouth? If we don't have respect for each other's lives, lifestyles, and choices, why would we even celebrate Juneteenth? For what? For what? We must first start respecting each other and respecting each other's lives, like by not taking them and not getting so. When you get so angry you want to just fight somebody, you ignorant. I'm just being honest. You being ignorant. Okay? Now, if your kid's being bad and you want to beat they behind, that's different to me. But if you see an adult and you cannot have an intelligent conversation with another adult to solve a problem, something's really wrong. And you need to work on that. You need to work on that. Control yourself. Control your anger. Work on controlling that. Okay? And it is hard, I know. You know, I had a fight when I was, how old? And I did it on purpose, though. I think I was like 17 or something. I was trying to drop out of school, and they wouldn't kick me out of school for nothing. So I picked a fight with a guy. But that guy had a doggone, but he had with the first belt, the white belt, but he knew how to do karate. All I knew was crazy. And I lost the fight, of course. So, I mean, fighting doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. You know, but if you feel like you need to get a gun, you're so angry you need to get a gun, then fighting does make sense. Duke it out. Duke it out. Because killing someone and taking somebody's life over something petty, over somebody else's drugs you selling, that's stupid as hell. That's if you still living in the ghetto. Real stupid. Killing somebody over sitting or standing on a corner that you ain't even paying taxes on and don't own, that's stupid. That's some ignorant stuff. And I'm going to tell you like that is ignorant. Oh, you know, I'm just, every time I see a news story or get a news story about the truth, I mean, things that these cops have been doing for years. I had a incident years ago and with my car. And the police, instead of him saying, do you need help? He was like, you don't need no ambulance, get this. He said a bunch of curse words off doggone expressway. That's how they talk. That's how they act. You know, and I have seen them pull over people with these, with the trailers and the campers. And they just seem like they're having the most glorious conversations. Laughing, talking. They got the hand on the police shoulder. But they're not white. I mean, they're not black. They white. They white. Okay. So we don't get pulled over like that. If we get a camper home, that's why we're afraid to do things like that. They made sure. They drilled into us, drilled into black people in the past, in our parents. When I was a little kid, we went and moved my dad's friend, who was a white guy. I think he was in Missouri, if I'm not mistaken, wherever he was at. We moved him. Everybody was in a convoy. Man, we all ate together. The kids ate together. We all ate together. You know, I'm thinking, okay, this is cool. We all family here, blase, Skippy. And when we left, we got in the truck, and I looked at my dad's truck. He had all the bicycles, the lawnmower, just the stuff that looked like garbage, okay? Everybody else had nice trucks with boxes and the neat stuff, the moving stuff, but we got all the bits and ends and pieces. I was like, oh, okay, we the junk truck, and I said, okay. And then everybody was in the convoy, and I was like, we're gonna get to do a convoy. I was head up on the CB radio when I was a kid. My name was Avocado Kid. So I love that CB. So I'm thinking we're going to be in a convoy. We all going to be riding along the road together. My daddy went the other way. And I'm like, why are we going the other way? We're not allowed to go on that road. I wish I could remember what road it was. Was it 66 or whatever it was? I know black people wasn't allowed to drive on the road that the white people were driving on when I was a little girl. So my dad had to go around another way. Okay? And I did, and it hurt me. I was just crying like, why? We can't follow them. And I never understood that until I became an adult. And I understood it. And it's a terrible thing. And people act like, okay, if you really think about it, these are some awful people. These are some evil, awful people that came over, gave diseases to Indians, killed most of them, and Indians had never, ever, ever scalped white people. They switched the story around. Look at your real history. White people scalped Indian. For every scalped Indian they took the Indian scalp in, they got paid at the fort for it. That is the truth. Learn your real history and stop watching cowboy movies with a bunch of lies on it, okay? That's your real history. They got paid for every scalp that they took so they can took over the land of the Indians. That is the real truth about what really happened. And it's just so much. People need to learn history. Maybe they'll be able to go through their future a little better if they knew where you came from. Because all these things that happened back then, are things that have spilled over into now. Amy Cooper is your best bet. And all the rest of them that Karen's calling in. There's a black girl selling water. But I'm upstairs. But she's upstairs selling weed to dogs. All right now? She upstairs selling marijuana to the dogs. Quite sure she's selling a few to the people next door too. And getting away with it. But the little girl finna go to jail for selling water. She called the police on them. On her. So you really have to just really think about how evil this set of people are. Not all of them. So we're counting on the other ones that aren't to help us out with this. Because we can't do this by ourselves. We just can't. We need you. We need you to help us with your people. Okay. I done did enough talking today. You guys have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. And do something good. Do something.